got a PhD from Berkeley and like, I can't get a job to save my life.
Today's lesson is on what self-responsibility does not look like. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my freedom-loving friend. This is where we call out lies, hypocrisy, corruption, and help spread the light of truth and freedom because truth conquers. Now, what I think is a superpower of our time is self-responsibility. It is the opposite of self-induced victimhood. And I truly do believe that self-responsibility is a superpower of our time. Why? Because it's not very common. And if you just take self-responsibility, you will far exceed so many people in what you can accomplish and achieve because they don't take it. They'd rather be a victim. Now, to the lesson of what self-responsibility doesn't look like, we have a leftist. That's literally what she calls herself. You'll see in one of the clips. She got a PhD in Berkeley and can't find a job, which also speaks to the quality education that people pay $200,000 for. But you'll also see an extreme unwillingness to not get a job, where she says, yeah, I don't want a job. And I don't understand why right-wingers want to work. It is laughable and it is very sad, but nonetheless, because we learn so much about what not to do that teaches us what to do from poor examples of what not to do, I thought this was both fun and a worthwhile lesson. So let's get into it. Here she is, probably sitting in her Subaru Outback that her parents paid for. Just a guess. Take it away, lady.
Getting crushed by capitalism is like so cringe, but it's like, it's happening to me. And like, I got a PhD from Berkeley and like,
it's funny.
I can't get a job to save my life. I got a soil biology PhD and
that's like gender studies for dirt.
I'm a tutor and a babysitter and a dog sitter. And like, part of that is because like,
by the way, babysitter, dog sitter, I think she's underqualified for those jobs.
Like, I don't want to like move to some random place in the middle of nowhere. But like, the other half is like, they cut all the funding for science and like...
They cut funding for science. It's like, that's just science. We're cutting funding for you. So what we have so far is her essentially admitting, oh, there's soil biology jobs. I just don't want to go to them. They would require me to move from Berkeley, California. What food is grown in a metropolis area on the coast of California? Well, not much. However, she decided, I want to be a soil scientist, get educated from Berkeley. Where's the soil to scientifically analyze? Well, not there. And I don't want to go to where it is.
The biotech market is just like absolutely cratered. And like, I have long COVID, so it's...
Eric, now we get even more victimization. I'm victimized. Capitalism is crushing me. What's that mean? It means I don't want to work. I don't want to move to where a job is. All right, victim points there. Also, I have long COVID. Does that exist, or do you have side effects from a certain thing you were complying with? Either way.
It's difficult for me to work like a full-time job and just like, I got on here to rant a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I'm glad she did.
Oh my God, like what do we do? I just have to work.
Yeah, welcome to adulthood. You just have to work. By the way, if someone were to pay her $1 for every time she said like, she actually wouldn't like have to work. She would like be paid just for like saying like. College educated PhD right here, ladies and gentlemen. And also, if there's any potential employers listening to this, I have long COVID, which like makes it really hard for me to like work. I mean, she is just sounding like a good candidate. I'm sure she's gotten multiple offers. Says, oh, like, look at you. We want to, you don't want to work. Got that. It's hard for you to work. Got that. We want to hire you. We like the lack of work ethic you have. And if we look at the comments, I'm sure very supportive comments on her TikTok video, there are literally 135 soil biologist jobs in the Midwest right now that you could get in a second. Your problems aren't on capitalism. I would agree. Here's a good one. As an employer, the second an employee who is new to the field and freshly educated starts with I can't, or health issues with wide-ranging, ambiguous symptoms, I don't feel like I can then actually ask them to do anything, and I will look for another candidate. Like. And this one, it's almost as if it's up to you to be successful, not the piece of paper any establishment gives you. But it gets better. In a follow-up video she has, the truth becomes a little more revealed. It goes from, I can't get a job. Well, there's jobs. I don't want to go there where jobs. I can't get a job. So it goes to like, I don't want to work. Now, that's the opposite of self-responsibility. That ain't gonna get you anywhere. It kind of suggests, I'm entitled. I don't want to work. Someone should just support me because I'm me. Look at my pigtails. Like, can you see them? It's at least more honest. She's at least more truthful instead of, I can't get a job. It's like, I don't want to work. All right, let's check that out.
I know not many right-wingers get this, but
right away, I like that she put her seatbelt on to start this video. Smart. It's like, I'm going to be on camera. This is dangerous.
I know not many right-wingers get this, but as a leftist, I really don't want a job.
Oh no, we get it. And I love that she called herself a leftist. Just only step of improvement is if she called herself a communist. But I appreciate she didn't say liberal. She said leftist. I usually use that term as an insult, even though I might be using it accurately. I always mean it as an insult, but she just owns it. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but first, does your immune system feel compromised ever since COVID? Well, there's a new study in the Journal of Clinical Laboratory Analysis that suggests you may not be in the clear, even if you feel fine. Researchers analyzed blood from people that recovered from COVID, and they found something alarming. Their platelets, which are essential for healthy blood clotting, were not functioning properly, even months after recovery. And other studies have found lingering spike proteins in the bloodstream and organ, causing immune system dysfunction and even mitochondrial damage, whether they're from the virus itself or mRNA shots. This is why Dr. Peter McCullough developed the Ultimate Spike Detox. This doctor-formulated blend includes nattokinase to help break down spike protein, bromelain to support immune health, and turmeric with black pepper to reduce inflammation and repair cells. Take back control of your health today. Head to twc.health/jpreacts and use code JPReacts to get 15% off plus free shipping. Again, that's twc.health/jpreacts and code JPReacts to get 15% off plus free shipping. I say it's time to own your health. Now back to the video.
That people make fun of leftists for not wanting a job, but
Yes.
like, I'm really one of them.
That's why we're here making fun of you. It's a very, very bad quality.
I can't stand the idea of having to work.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why right-wingers want to work either. Like, they are like slaves to their masters, low-key.
No, I love working. I don't work for anybody other than myself. So here's why I love working. And by the way, I hope she sees this. I doubt she ever will. And if she does, I'm sure not take it in. I love working because it gives me a sense of fulfillment, because it makes me know I am contributing to something outside of myself. I am in some way helping people, being, well, I would say an asset to society to a degree, where I'm contributing to the betterment of other people, whether that's giving them laughs, giving them a new perspective, giving them entertainment. The sense of contribution you get is the fulfillment. You're on a mission, which is great. Not having a mission, that's easier, and there's no fulfillment, no sense of contribution. So that's why people love to work. It's not everybody loves their job, by the way. I happen to love my job. It's a self-created job. I'm a slave to nothing other than myself. But even people who don't love their job, but they work, they do it because they're feeding their family. They're contributing to something bigger than just themselves. If you want a path into a living hell, make everything about you. And this lady is carving her own path.
And they love it and they eat it up. But when someone like me says, like, I don't want to work in the middle of nowhere, everybody's mad at me. And it's pretty obvious that you're a little bit like cucked, if you know what I mean, by your circumstances. And maybe I am too. But I'm into that.
That we would also use that as an insult, but she owns it, so good for her. Now let's see what her commenters have to say. First one, I'm not a right-winger, maybe you should be, but I enjoy working. Our productivity and contributions are actually a really important part of our fulfillment and self-concept. I hope you find what fulfills you. And she never will if she makes everything about her, meeting her needs. And her needs probably aren't even in her best interest, but she just makes it about her. If she stops doing that, maybe she can. That is a brilliant comment. Those who don't want to work were probably not brought up to learn the importance of work ethics. Yeah. This one, this is the exact reason we need capitalism. We would all starve. And this one, having a job gives you a sense of accomplishment. So does being able to support yourself and provide for yourself. Yeah, that's how adults think and feel. This lady is very obviously not of an adult mindset. Intellectually, maybe, like PhD, great, developed intellect, but not an adult mindset. She's in a child mindset. A child can have a very developed intellect, but emotionally, they're just a child. And this lady, it just acts like a child. But now I have to eat my words, because a second ago I said she's probably got a child mindset, but a well-developed intellect. I meant that about the child mindset, but here I have to really question the well-developed intellect. Take a look at this.
Something that drives me absolutely crazy is that, like, I don't know where any of my stuff came from. I don't know where my shirt came from. I don't know where, like, the materials for my iPhone came from.
Okay, so let me stop her right there. Where your shirt came from, if you look at the tag, it'll tell you exactly where it came from. Whether it's China, Polynesia, made in the US, your shirt literally says where it came from. Like, I don't know where my iPhone, slave labor in China. That's where that came from. How do you not know this? But let's hear what else she doesn't know.
I barely know where my water comes from. Like, I had to look that up. Like, I don't know where my food comes from. Like,
we get a lot of likes. Like, I don't like.
Is like, that doesn't like feel normal. I feel like I literally contacted my grocery store to ask them where the food comes from, and like they ignored me.
Yeah, as they should. Now, I think it's a great idea to know where your food comes from. That's great. But here's the idiocracy. I contacted the grocery store and asked, where's the food come from? Well, do you have 5 years? A grocery store probably sells thousands of food items. Each of them probably come from a lot of different places. So you ask the grocery, where's the food come from? What? 5,000 different places. What food? Like, you can call them, ask, where's the carrots come from? Now we're maybe gonna get somewhere. But you ask the grocery, someone that sells 5,000 different things, where do those things come from? Well, it's gonna take a lot of time to give you 5,000 different answers. I would ignore her question too.
Like, and I keep finding like sustainable companies or whatever that are supposed to like have transparent supply chains, but like I cannot find this stuff to save my life.
Yeah, I wouldn't think she could find them.
And I'm just so curious. I don't know, where does our stuff come from?
Yeah, I like that. But where's stuff come from? Are you going to get a job? No, I'm going to try to find out where stuff comes from. Which stuff? You know, all the stuff. All right. It's going to take you a lot of time to figure out where stuff comes from. But I think that's a great mission. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 lessons here. Try not to say like every other word in sentences. Maybe a couple times per day. Much more than that, your brain cells are going to go down. It's something I probably need to work on, like myself. Lesson number 2, self-responsibility is a superpower. Watching what not to do, what this lady models, and God help her. I wish her the best. I wish her maturity. I wish for her that she steps into an adult mindset. Yet she models a lot of what not to do. And that's a powerful teacher, because seeing what not to do teaches us what to do. You go in the opposite direction. And in that opposite direction from this lady's teachings is the superpower of self-responsibility. It's a hell of a thing, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, let me know what you think about this lady and her challenges in like getting a job and her like not wanting to work, comments below, and I'll look forward to seeing you in our next video. But until then, stay free.